Tem que ser mais agressivo só. Você entendeu? Tenta lá fundão, Bruno. Tipo aquele pé. Não. Isso aí, vamos para ela. É mais difícil para ele, vai.
So you are very motivated to get the belt back.
Absolutely. I can't wait for this moment to happen again, and it's going to be a very different fight. That day was not the same Alex Pereira, so if come the regular Alex Pereira, it's already more than that. But imagine now.
Повторный реванш, как он пройдет?
Ну, я думаю, реванш пройдет намного легче, чем первый бой, так как статистика говорит всегда, реванши со мной выходить это очень опасно.
If Ankalaev beats Pereira again? That is not an easy question that I just asked you. Now, do you want to see that fight?
Magomed Ankalaev is once again looking confident as he sends a clear warning to Alex Pereira ahead of their rematch. On the other hand, Pereira is equally determined and hungry to reclaim his belt. The two fighters are set to clash once again for the light heavyweight title at UFC 320 on October 4th, and fans are eagerly anticipating this mega showdown.
All right, UFC 320, October 4th, T-Mobile, Las Vegas. Magomed Ankalaev defends his belt against Alex Pereira. Ankalaev hasn't lost in 7 years. He has the second longest win streak in the UFC light heavyweight division behind who?
Alex Pereira expressed that he is highly motivated to reclaim the belt from Magomed Ankalaev. He admitted that the result of their first encounter was controversial, with some people believing Ankalaev won and others siding with him. Pereira argued that a draw would have been the fairest outcome, which would have allowed him to remain champion. He explained that the version of himself that fought that night was not the real Alex Pereira, promising that the upcoming rematch would showcase a very different fighter. Pereira emphasized that he does not need a knockout this time, insisting that his overall skill set is strong enough to impose his will on Ankalaev in any area of the fight.
Magomed, when you see the footage of him going home with the belt that was yours, and all the hoopla and stuff, how does that make you feel?
People say that he won, people say that he lost, people say that I win, like very contested, right? Why you don't give it a draw and a left to the belt?
So you are very motivated to get the belt back.
Absolutely. I can't wait for this moment to happen again, and it's going to be a very different fight. That day was not the same Alex Pereira, so if come the regular Alex Pereira, it's already more than that. But imagine now if it's different. Doesn't have to be a knockout, but I feel that I have enough game to do whatever I want with this.
On the other hand, Magomed Ankalaev revealed that he has always been ready for a rematch with Alex Pereira. Even after his UFC 313 victory, he immediately expressed his willingness to fight again whenever Pereira wanted. Reflecting on their first fight, Ankalaev explained that he maintained constant pressure while Pereira spent much of the 20 minutes avoiding engagement. He pointed out that Pereira questioned why he was declared the winner, despite what Ankalaev described as his clear dominance. Looking ahead, Ankalaev welcomed the rematch, stating that this time he hopes Pereira comes prepared to compete seriously, rather than spending the fight on the back foot.
And I kept on moving forward, I kept pressuring him, and he kept on running away from me. You know, for 20 minutes, this guy was running away from me. And then I heard at the end of the fight, he was saying that, you know, he wasn't sure why the victory was given to me. Who's supposed to be given the victory? You know, I've been pressuring him the entire time. He was running for 20 minutes, and then he's wondering who's supposed to get the victory. Listen, I'm happy for a rematch if he wants a rematch, but then maybe in the rematch he could fight for real, not just run away.
Magomed Ankalaev also warned that his upcoming rematch with Alex Pereira would be easier than their first encounter. He pointed out that history and statistics show facing him in a rematch is always dangerous, and he expects Pereira to learn that lesson again. When asked about whether he plans to rely more on striking or grappling this time, Ankalaev responded that anything is possible. He emphasized that he will use whatever strategy is necessary to dominate the fight, and made it clear that he does not foresee any problems in any area of the matchup.
Повторный реванш, как он пройдет?
Ну, я думаю, реванш пройдет намного легче, чем первый бой, так как статистика говорит всегда, реванши со мной выходить это очень опасно. Я думаю, мы подтвердим то же самое, что со мной не стоит выходить на реванш.
Может быть, в этот раз вообще не стоит пытаться перевести Алекса, потому что ты, в принципе, перебивал ее стойки.
Все может быть. Я буду делать все, чтобы доминировать. Если бороться, надо будет бороться. Стойки. Я думаю, у нас не будет проблем никаких.
Magomed Ankalaev stated that he wants Alex Pereira to be fully fit for their rematch, leaving no room for excuses. He pointed out that after their first fight, some critics claimed Pereira wasn't completely prepared, and he doesn't want to hear that again. Ankalaev mentioned that he has seen Pereira training hard, drilling takedown scenarios by getting taken down repeatedly and working his way back up, which shows he is preparing for that possibility. However, Ankalaev added that he might not even go for takedowns this time since Pereira is expecting them. Regardless, he stressed that it doesn't matter. His goal is to face the best version of Pereira and secure a decisive outcome.
Ты видел отрывки тренировок Алекса Перейры, где его там борют, он встает постоянно, то есть, очевидно, он готовится к тому, что будет вставать постоянно.
Да, вполне возможно, что я не буду его переводить. Может, он это делает всегда. Ну, пускай делает, готовится. Я, наоборот, хочу, чтобы он подходил к этому бою на 100% готов, чтобы у него не оставались вопросы по поводу поединка, чтобы не было таких разговоров, как в прошлом бою, что не был готов или что-то было не сделано. Я хочу, чтобы он подошел в хорошей форме и после нашего поединка, чтобы у него не было оправдания.
Meanwhile, many professionals are excited about the upcoming rematch. Andrew Tate expressed his belief that Alex Pereira will come back stronger this time. He recalled that they were once scheduled to fight back in the Showtime days, although Pereira ended up facing a different opponent instead. Tate praised Pereira's experience and mental toughness, highlighting his ability to learn from both victories and defeats and use them as fuel to improve. He also noted that Pereira is widely admired by fans around the world and said he is confident that Pereira will return as an even better version of himself in the rematch.
Last thing, I saw you and your brother in Vegas over the weekend. Do you have any words for Pereira? He took a loss, like any maybe words of encouragement?
Pereira's an OG. Pereira fought Sahak Papayan, and I was supposed to fight Pereira a long time ago, but he ended up fighting Sahak instead back in the It's Showtime days. So him and I have been fighting way back when. So he's been around. He knows the game. Yeah. He understands you win some, you lose some. You either use it to come back stronger and better and learn something, or you use it to destroy you. It's like everything in life, right? So I think he already knows exactly what to do. The world loves him. He knows that.
You think he'll win the rematch?
I think he'll be back. Yeah, the world loves him. He's a loved guy.
However, Chael Sonnen believes Alex Pereira wasn't genuinely interested in the rematch with Magomed Ankalaev. Sonnen pointed out that historically, big fights don't get made unless the challenger is fully invested. He explained that he couldn't recall a time when a fighter agreed to a bout without showing full commitment or publicly expressing a strong desire to win. Sonnen emphasized that a true contender puts everything else on hold and makes complete sacrifices for a fight, suggesting that Pereira's lack of visible urgency was unusual for someone in his position.
Big Unk has been calling out Pierre, which it just doesn't usually work that way. And there was so little interest from Pierre's side, at least publicly, that I wasn't sure they were gonna do that. I can't remember a time in history. I mean, I'll go as far as that. I don't know a time in history when a fight got made and the challenger didn't ask for it. When the challenger wasn't into it, where the challenger wasn't letting it be known that I'm putting my entire life on hold, nothing matters, complete sacrifice so I can beat this man. I don't remember that, ever.
Chael Sonnen also discussed the stakes if Alex Pereira were to win the rematch, emphasizing the importance of settling the rivalry once and for all. He questioned whether fans would be interested in seeing them fight 2 more times, stressing that respecting and honoring the outcome is the only respectable path forward. Sonnen explained that if Pereira wins, he will have already defeated the top competition, and a loss for Ankalaev would clarify his trajectory. Ultimately, Sonnen suggested that Pereira could then move on to the heavyweight division, which has been his long-term goal all along.
Will you come out and support and watch and be into the fight 2 more times? Because if Pereira wins, that's the only honorable thing to do. right? You got to settle the score. Pereira knows this better than anybody. So, what do you do in that case? I mean, if Pereira wins, and we got to go back to Unk. If Pereira wins and we're not going to go with Unk, anybody in that top stratosphere, Pereira's already beat. And with a loss, the answer for Pereira will be very clear. And it will be what he's wanted all along. He now joins the heavyweight division.
Dean Thomas shared his thoughts on Alex Pereira's chances of winning another UFC title despite his age. Known for being highly critical of older fighters, Thomas admitted that Pereira is an exception. He explained that Pereira's fighting style actually works in his favor, as he doesn't rely heavily on footwork or wrestling. Instead, his knockout power forces opponents to walk into his shots. Thomas added that this approach minimizes the wear and tear on Pereira's body both in training and in fights, giving him a better chance to remain competitive at the highest level. Thomas stated, "There's no one in MMA harder on older fighters than I am. I've said it about Kamaru Usman and many others as they get older, that it's too late for them. But I think Alex Pereira is the exception. His style helps him with age. He doesn't move his feet much, he doesn't wrestle much, and he has that power that guys just run into. So, he's not putting a lot of strain on his body in training or during fights."
That Ankalaev gonna beat him if it's not lucky punch. We know like Pereira, he's so dangerous. He has a good left hook and kicks, leg kicks. But first round he started with leg kicks, and I was scared like again they're gonna like kill his legs, and then he gotta change his stand. But then he could change his game. He started to go forward, and he won last I think 4 rounds.
So you scored it for Magomed?
No, 3-2. 5 was like even 50-50, you know.
Former UFC champion Demetrius Johnson shared his thoughts on the upcoming rematch between Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev, expressing hope for a closer and more exciting fight this time. Johnson recalled that their first encounter was a rather boring affair, as the 5-round contest ended quietly and lacked intensity. He acknowledged that Ankalaev had executed a smart game plan by controlling the pace and forcing Pereira to react, but felt the fight never truly sparked. Johnson also pointed out a recurring pattern in Pereira's style, noting that many of his bouts begin with leg kicks, a strategic but somewhat predictable approach.
Ankalaev taking on Alex Pereira. I felt it was very anticlimactic. Like when the fight was over, I was like, God, that was it? Was that 5 rounds? So is it over? And when I think like that, I feel that Ankalaev played a very, very smart strategy game. Meaning that when you look at Alex Pereira, he has 2 ways to go about his fight. Look at all his fights. Even from the Sean Strickland to the Izzy Adesanya to Khalil Roundtree, Yuri Prohaska, both those fights. You look at all those fights, it always starts off by the leg kick. He wants to react.
Heavyweight contender Curtis Blaydes gave his prediction for the rematch, siding with Alex Pereira. He cited Pereira's impressive recovery from injury and his ability to overcome an illness similar to one Blaydes had previously dealt with. Blaydes emphasized that as long as Pereira enters the fight fully healthy, he believes the Brazilian will have the edge and come out on top.
I'm gonna go with Pereira because of the injury, and also I heard he had this same illness that I had, and I know how that feels. So yeah, as long as he's healthy, I go with it.
Welterweight fighter Carlos Prates predicted that Alex Pereira will come out on top in a potential rematch. He explained that Pereira has now had the time to review his mistakes and make the necessary adjustments. Prates expects Pereira to enter the cage fully prepared this time and believes he will secure a knockout victory. That wraps up today's video. We hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to share your predictions for the Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev rematch in the comments section below.